For Sounders FC head coach Sigi Schmid ahead of tomorrow's match against Sporting Kansas City. Sigi, just thoughts on today's session and going into a big match tomorrow with two teams that are close in the postseason race for MLS Cup playoffs.
Well, it was good today just to be able to touch the ball around because, with the flight schedule that we had yesterday, we really couldn't touch the ball. So we wanted to make sure guys got some touches, got to play a little bit, so it was good. Get used to the weather, and, that was good as well. Obviously for us, our concern right now is we're less concerned about the race as to where we end up, because we know that's in our hands. Where we end up is determined by how many points we get. So we want to continue to get points. We want to continue to win games, to establish our rhythm, to establish consistency, to establish confidence.
Thoughts on Kansas City tomorrow and his opponent? Obviously a team that's fighting for a postseason position, as is your side. Competitive match in general, and just thoughts on facing Peter Vermes' side.
It's going to be an interesting thing because right now you really don't know what they're going to come with. Are they going to save people for the Open Cup? They didn't have a good result in Houston. Are they going to put a little more stock into this game? We know that Beasler's out with yellows and Benny got himself out with a yellow as well. So, it'd probably be a mixed group a little bit for them, as he prepares for that game on Wednesday. It's a short turnaround, so we're not quite sure, what we can expect. But the main thing is we can't, again, like I said, we can't focus on them. We got to focus on ourselves.
Keeping the focus turned inward, where do you think that you guys are at in terms of meshing in the new guys and having Andreas find his footing? And are you happy with how your guys have sort of rotated in so far?
Yeah, no, I think it's been good. Obviously, having guys healthy and having guys available makes for competition, also makes for options, and, I think Wednesday night was a good example of, you have Valdez up front, with Barrett, and then Nagel can play wide, and you got some other players, Freeberg out there, and all of a sudden the whole thing looked a little bit better. So, it's sometimes we were at a stage in the midsummer where the burden of having to make the game fell on a lot of young shoulders, and that was too big a responsibility at that moment. They'll eventually get there. But right now we have options, we have different players that can bring it and play at different times in different places, and so that makes it a good thing for us.
And is this a game away from home and against a team that might not go with the strongest lineup that you can tinker a little bit and maybe see how different guys look besides somewhere else?
No, like I said, we're worried right now just about establishing our rhythm and getting ourselves, confident and continuing to win games. So, we're not going to experiment because we think they're going to experiment or play a different team. That's not going to enter our mindset at all. Our mindset's going to be focused on us doing well.
It certainly looks like it, but everybody make the trip and healthy?
Yeah, everybody made the trip, everybody's healthy.
And Garth had said that with Roman's knee surgery that you guys wouldn't maybe know for sure what all sort of the timeline was until they kind of went in and did the surgery. Is there any update on how long he might be out and how the timetable might look?
Yeah, we've obviously, Dr. Morris has talked to the doctor, so we have an idea as to what's going on. That's something that we'll talk about in the future, but right now it's just a matter of Roman getting through this first week of therapy that he did up there, and then continuing his therapy, and we see how all that process comes along. And if that process comes along well, that'll give us a better idea of the timeline.